Divine Rising, my loves. I want to talk to you all and share this huge breakthrough of a download that I just personally had. So, for context, I was raised by an abusive, narcissistic mother, firstborn daughter, scapegoat. And as I've been on my journey back home to self and remembering who I am, the last few days, Thieves of Joy has really been on my radar because I have recently surrendered, if you will, to my emotions and letting them flow, especially the higher vibrational ones, because those are the ones that I am least familiar with experiencing and feeling. So I want to experience those fully. And so I sat down the other day and kind of broke down what a thief of joy is. So I started with, what is joy? Well, joy is intense and especially ecstatic or exultant happiness. Okay, well, what does intense mean? Intense means extreme in degree, strength, or size. So it's a big emotion, right? Well, what does extreme mean? Extreme is being in or attaining the greatest or highest degree. So it is like the biggest, highest emotion that we can be expressing, okay? What does ecstatic mean? Because joy is ecstatic happiness. So what does ecstatic mean? Being in a state of ecstasy, joyful, or enraptured. So joy, and then exultant, right? So the other one is exultant. So what does exultant mean? Marked by great joy or jubilation, or triumphant. So to experience joy, we have to be triumphant in our surrender to a huge emotion, and that causes the ego to become afraid when, as scapegoats, or if our programming, if it was written into our programming that it's not safe to show that, to surrender to that emotion, because in the past we surrendered to that emotion and were attacked for it or belittled for it, or told to quiet down, right? So fear perceives that as dangerous, right? Our ego's job is to keep us alive. And in the past, expressing joy has put us in some state of danger, whether it was emotional, mental, or physical, or a combination, right? So fear sees joy in that mindset. When we're still in that mindset, our fear, or our ego, is seeing joy as a loss of control, because we have to surrender to this emotion. So what came through for me was I started becoming aware of, it made me aware of not only where other people were thieves of joy in my life, but where I was my own thief of joy. And started paying attention to when that joy feeling would come up and where the resistance would come in, and then just literally mind over matter. No, I'm not going to resist this. I am safe to express this feeling. Verbal confirmation, I'm going to express this feeling. I'm going to surrender to expressing this emotion. So, as scapegoats in a narcissistic household abuse, relationship space, environment, we are programmed and conditioned to believe that we are the bane of others' existence. And so it's off the radar until someone helps us see that we could be the joy in anybody's life. Because for however long we were programmed and conditioned to believe that we were the blame, we were the poison in the situation. So I challenge you to sit with yourself and see where that might fit for you, where you may have been programmed and conditioned to believe that it was unsafe for you to express joy because those around you were so offended by it, because they felt such a strong need to stay in control that witnessing your surrender to yourself terrifies them. Like, literally, absolutely terrifies them. Because somewhere in their programming, they too had expressed joy. And others said, no, you can't do that. That's unsafe. You're too loud. You're causing a scene. Whatever, right? You're being too much. Whatever verbs and words that they used. So, until we recognize and accept that we not only can be, but are the joy of our own life, can we ever accept fully being the joy in anybody else's life? So I've been sitting in with the fact and like looking at places where I have inspired myself, where I have been the joy of my life, and my best friend said it really well. She was like, it brings me joy to express myself, and I was like, that's it in a nutshell. We are the joy of our own lives by freely and fully and authentically expressing ourselves. And the more we do that, the more joy we bring into our own lives, which means then we're going to have an abundance of joy, and it's not necessarily going to be received by everybody, and it doesn't have to be, but it's going to be received by the ones who do need it and want it. I love you. You've got this.